You know, after what can be likened to beating a dead horse in the fight against the menace of kidnapping, northern governors are meeting with the National Security Advisor, the NSA, to explore and exploit new options. It's a kinetic and non-kinetic options, that is to say, think out of the box. And they have new methods in tackling the menace of kidnapping in the region. Governor of Gombe and chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, Inuwa Yahaya, made the disclosure after a meeting at Abuja on Thursday. Well, my trouble here is going public with the move. But first, let's share this story with you.
It's a race against time for the authorities who are on their toes to secure the release of victims, especially students recently kidnapped in Kaduna and Sokoto states. The meeting of the northern state governors with the security chiefs and the National Security Advisor is meant to determine the best way to handle the issue. After a more than 3-hour meeting behind closed doors, the governor of Gombe State spoke on resolutions reached.
Security is very topical, especially with the recent issues of kidnapping in the northwest. And we are becoming so concerned that we need to discuss, review, and possibly take alternative options to what we have been doing before so that we can have a better result. And already the service teams and all other security agencies have been doing their best trying to cover up. So what we need to do is to change style, especially adding with a non-kinetic approach, so that at the end of it, when we join the two, we'll have a better security situation in the country.
The spate of kidnapping in the northern part of the country has gotten to a frightening dimension. Military authorities describe it as reprisals for recent onslaught on terror kingpins. But President Tinubu's directive for the rescue of kidnapped victims remains clear, just as the military authorities step up action for the operation. For now, Nigerians wait with bated breath in anticipation of results. Sifon Essien, TVC News.
Yeah, Ibn so we're going to the brass tacks.
You know, a lot of times we like to use some kind of English in Nigeria to define things that are already on ground.
Yeah.
Non-kinetic, kinetic. A lot of people say, let me put it in pidgin, give Pikin breast. Give breast to Pikin. And make Pikin chop in belly food.
That's all.
What we're talking about is provide security. Let me take us to the schools.
And Sonny Ade said, you understand that now?
Yes.
Yeah, so
okay, let's go to the schools. Most of these schools do not have perimeter fence. So it is very easy.
Less of security posts.
You understand? So it is very easy for kidnappers to just stroll into these schools. Yes, and do whatever they want to do and stroll back to wherever they came from. So as they have held their meetings, they should as well begin to look at all of these schools. Make sure that every school has perimeter fencing. Don't leave any school vulnerable to kidnappers or abductors. Because in one of the stories that I read, I think it was the one in where 15 students were kidnapped. They were just, these criminal elements were just, they had gone to perform their evil enterprise somewhere, and they were going. Then they saw people running, and they saw these students running back to their school, to their hostel. But if that place had some sort of fence to secure that environment, they can't just easily...
An alarm could have been...
Exactly. They wouldn't even find it so easy. How do you go to a place and you're able to kidnap over 200 children? It's shameful. They should start from there, please.
And the thing couldn't have happened in 30 minutes.
They were taking enough time. I'm sure they took their time because they knew that nothing did happen. We have to begin to take the bull by the horn, and all this grammar does not help.
I don't see the...
It doesn't help.
I don't even see what they plan to do that is new.
It's new. There's nothing new.
Nigerians need assurances that the people voted into office will protect us.
Are working.
We need firm assurances from our leaders that this problem of insecurity will be dealt with decisively. What we keep getting assurances that are neither here nor there. There is no reason in the world for any school located in dangerous areas to still be running, especially in that northwest. Because if that had been the case, this would not have happened. 287 children. The whole world is talking about Nigeria. We put our country to shame over our inability to protect our children. We've let down the children, we've let down their parents. We want more and more children to go to school, to acquire education. Education is what makes a country great. Because the ideas that make our world better are products of good education.
That's it. That's it.
But now, people can't go to school. They go to school fearing that they could be kidnapped. A child that witnesses that and manages to escape kidnap, do you think he will go back to school?
Yeah.
Especially in an educationally disadvantaged area.
Environment. Yeah.
So the northern governors need to sit together. They need to do a meeting and tell themselves the truth. This is the way to approach this war. Because we're at war, just as the president's wife said. We're at war. We have to admit it. We're at war. Against these non-state actors, we're at war. That is the fact. We have to admit it. Non-kinetic, kinetic approaches, just let us know that you want to go the whole hog. I'm not interested in this grammar. Impotent grammar that does not achieve any result.
It doesn't.
Because I've listened, the other day the NSA tried to prove to us that security has improved. And shortly after, he reeled out some statistics that suggested that security had improved. These boys escalated their attacks. Now, can he face his countrymen and women and say the same thing? Where we make gains, we have to consolidate on the gains that we made.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't have a situation in which people will find it so easy to pack our children.
In numbers, in large numbers.
It's an embarrassment. It's a national embarrassment. And that area, you see, where we don't take development to the deepest part of our country, this is what we see.
Exactly.
That area where they kidnapped those 287 children, the next military base to that community is 35 minutes drive.
Right. Yeah.
No network.
These are
So how do you even raise an alarm?
And come to think
How do you raise an alarm?
Come to think of it.
That's why that school should not have even opened. Because on the way to Beningwari, we all know how dangerous Beningwari is. Is the northern capital of banditry. And Boko Haram as well, because some elements of Boko Haram are operating there. They kill soldiers. It's not a new thing.
You know, mine is this. When the outside world will read these unprintable things about Nigeria, you expect the investors to come? They will not readily come.
Every time the Americans come up with their travel advisory, the only geopolitical zone in our country that they leave out is the southwest. Go back and check all of those travel advisories that they do, because the southwest is the safest part of our country. People can rave about Lagos, oh, they rob in traffic. How many times does it happen? The people talk about these things because they don't want to give credit to security managers in Lagos. I wish they can swap places with some of the states of the northwest. Where you suddenly hear about 30 people were kidnapped at once. They go into a community, pack more than 50 people. They shoot into mosque. How many times have we seen that happen in Lagos? Mosque, when people are fasting, you go and open fire on them. It's happening in the northwest. Northern leaders need to sit down and figure out how they can solve this problem. You have military bases, military formations in Kaduna especially. Yet, look at the problem that we are facing. So what is the essence of having all of those military bases? It's meaningless if they cannot defend our people.
They should begin to develop their states. They should go to the boundaries, these extremities. Because if you look at Lagos, the government of Lagos is taking development to every nook and cranny of Lagos.
Yeah.
So anywhere you are in Lagos, you feel you are somewhere in the city center. You don't have this feel of, I'm in a village.
I'm in the bush.
Yes.
No network. Why won't they get away with it?
I mean, you can't...
Before anybody will be able to raise a finger that attack had happened, it will have been maybe 1 hour after. The boys who went, the journalists who went to cover the thing, they couldn't file their stories until they got back to the state capital. Because how do you file the story?
Loss of network.
Yes, it's just like going to Timbuktu Triangle in Borno State and say you want to file a story. How? Where's the network?
Even talking about network is one. What of the topography of the area? The terrain is, you can't navigate it.
No, some roads are terrible.
They are terrible.
There was a time, I think it was in 2018 or so, that I went to do a story in a community in a community attacked by bandits in Katsina State along the border with Zamfara. When I got there, you know, a journey that naturally should take 18 minutes took 2 hours. 2 hours. So I now said,
topography.
Terrible road, and no network. And people live, the village is densely populated. This one is a river that separates that community and Zamfara State. That's the natural boundary. They came, packed women and children, packed them away. So while we were there, I couldn't use my phone. It just seemed like when I go to the Northeast, for example, once I travel like 50 kilometers outside of Maiduguri, I can't use my phone. No network. Yes. You can't use my phone until I return to the hotel. So that was what happened. And those people said, look, for 2 hours, these guys were attacking us.
No intervention.
No intervention.
How do you, who is going to, how do you call, for example? And if you want to take a vehicle to go and lodge a report,
You are not sure.
You are going to, it will take you 2 hours. So by that time, the birds had flown. This is a lot of, you know, those boys don't go to urban centers.
They don't.
They target the vulnerable communities where they know they are not likely to see a fight back.
They also have intel. They also have intelligence too.
Yes, and that community that I visited is located in Kankara local government. Not long after that, they came to pack students of the government science secondary school in Kankara there, in Katsina. Took those boys away. Okay. That one was organized by Boko Haram, Shekau faction, working with some bandit leaders. People like Daudawa. That one claimed, he lied to the government that he had given up banditry. They gave him a holy Quran to swear with. He swore by it. He said, no, I'm not doing banditry again, no, nothing. When Onga became Wayaram in his post-banditry life, he went back into the bush. One of the rival bandits now took his life. That's why it makes no sense trying to negotiate with them, because they will still go back to it. Every time that they try to negotiate with them, they still go back to bandits. So I don't really know what Sheikh Gumi wants. If you are saying negotiate with bandits, the history of negotiation with bandits shows clearly that they can't be trusted. In Zamfara, they negotiated with them. They achieved nothing at the end of the day. Those boys went back. In Katsina, they negotiated twice. Twice. There's a famous picture of the former governor of Zamfara, Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari, standing beside the biggest bandit of his era. They call him Buhari Ndaji. standing beside him with Buhari Daji holding his AK-47. The governor was standing. He risked his life to go and negotiate. At the end of the day, Buhari Daji went back to banditry. So what is the point? Except we exterminate these people, and I've been saying it. That is the only language that they understand.
That's it.
No half measures. Declare a war. Let's know that we're at war. Let's stop deceiving ourselves.
So taking this home, therefore, Jinabo, the governors have met with the service chiefs and the NSA. So the roadmap is clear. Follow it. That's what to do.
They should just do the right thing. They should make sure that they provide security. That is their first assignment in their states. Provide security for your citizens and their property. All this grammar does not, the children are there where they are. Little children, primary school pupils.
Yes.
Who is taking care of them? How are they surviving?
Many of them are under 10 years.
How are they surviving?
Well fed? Are they well fed?
How are they eating? How are they
What would they
feeding?
give
Are they having their bath?
If
Maybe
you know the
maybe
way
I'm
they
asking
do,
too much.
they will be, they'll be moving them from place to place. They know that they are being watched because the reconnaissance aircraft will have located where they are now. So, because of that, they are constantly moving them. That was the way they were moving those train passengers, constantly moving them, constantly moving them. Is something that you do not want to wish for your enemy. To be in the den of these good-for-nothing people. You don't want to wish it for your enemy.
Dangerous animals.
Yes.
In tow.
Snakes, scorpions, and all that. They don't want to know. And at this time, you keep people in the open at the mercy of the elements. Even when it was raining, they were left in the open.
Oh dear.
God.
His heart
Is the reason we have to defeat these guys. The government has to make sure that we defeat these guys. Enough of this nonsense. Come on.
Okay, on a final note, gentlemen, one of us is marking her birthday, so it's not out of place to wish Bimbo Oloide. She's 70.
Wow.
I hear you don't ask a lady how old she is, but she's 70. Bimbo is a TV personality, news anchor of note.
He's a legend.
Bimbo, we wish you well. We are counting with you.
Yes.
A happy birthday.
Since we were young, we've been watching her. Good looking, perfect delivery, and all that. And it's a good thing to know that she has not given up anchoring. Because I saw her not long ago.
Yes, she's still very active.
Yes, reading the news, So
she has to keep busy.
Yes, and of course in the US we have even people older than her.
Yeah.
They are still very active. People like Wolf, Blizzard, the rest of them, they are still even this man, the popular talk show.
Larry King.
Larry King.
Before he died.
87. Yes, before he died, he was very active. Yes.
Yeah.
He was so married to his job that he had so many divorces.
Oh, yeah. They say 6 times.
Well, women need attention, and once you can't give them attention,
you can't eat your cake and have it.
So,
he was married to the job.
What do the men need?